Yo, my bro, what's happening? Um, so it's gone left. It's gone left. Life's gone left. Um, I don't even know where to start, but other than I kind of had a plan, and then another plan, and then the the life, and then life just done a 180 on me. Um, I was on probation in a new role. I took on a new role as sort of like an upgrade, a promotion, a step up, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it was a step up into a position where I thought I'd get more money. Um, the management position I had before. Long story short, it didn't work out. It didn't get through probation, and now I'm in a position where I don't have a job. And the plan was to build a business with my wife, work while she focused on the business, and I would be the one earning the daily bread. Now turns out that that plan has scarpered a bit, and yeah, man, I got to restart again. Um, the the situation was a bit weird to me because the simple fact that I've gone in there with a lot of knowledge. I believe I was good at my job. Things didn't really pan out how I planned them. Well, they didn't start how I wanted them to be. Definitely didn't pan out how I thought they would. Um, and essentially, I realized part of it was that I didn't really like, or I don't really like that industry anymore. Um, and yeah, if I'm keeping it real, I was kind of trying to get out of that world. I've been looking at other options, other career paths, again, just to keep the wolves away from the door while we build what we're trying to build in the education space. And I don't know if God heard me talking, or he has a plan for me that's different, or what. But yeah, I went in on one Monday morning thinking, all right, I'm gonna stick this out. I'm gonna try and make it work. This is matching part of the plan, so just fix up, Gavin, stick it out. And then manager called me in the office for my probation meeting and said, "Yeah, we're stopping your probation." Um, what do you say to that? I just got up and walked out. And the funny thing is, when I was walking out, or when I got the train home, on the train, I was laughing to myself at one point because I was thinking like, God, God's doing this. Like, it can't be anything other than God's work because I kind of asked for it, didn't I? I asked for it. So yeah, it's a strange position. Um, but one thing I think I knew before, but one thing I understand even more so now, that it's never too late to start again. And I think a lot of people think that when you hit a certain age, I'm 43 in a few weeks. I recorded this, I'm 43 in a few weeks. And a lot of people think that when you hit those sort of ages that you can't start again, that it's actually over with. And I spoke to a friend of mine a few weeks ago he turns 40. I think he turned 40 last week actually. Yeah, his birthday was last week, so he would have turned 40 last week. And he was saying to me how he's feeling this weird shift inside of him. Um and I think it happens to a lot of us. I think your 40s is a weird space where you end up not really knowing what you're going to do next, but knowing that you have to do something different. I think a lot of us go through that. I think a lot of us end up in a space where we have to work out what's next. I think a lot of us get forced into that position. That's what I think happened to me. Like, it just, the universe, or whatever you want to believe, God, science, whatever it is you believe in, does something where it's just like, yeah, this is what you need to do now. Think about it, work it out, but you ain't doing that anymore. And I think that's what it is. And even older than 40, at any point in life, you can and will probably have to rethink about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and to start again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we need to restart as many times as we need to, just to keep sane and stay happy. And a part of me wishes that I'd done this a little bit earlier, if I'm being honest. Not because I would be younger, but because I would have saved myself a few years of unhappiness, uncertainty. Um, but at the same time, I don't think I would have done it with this level of clarity, because I do think that I've learned that it's not too late. I've learned that I can pivot, and some of the stuff that I valued weren't valuable. Um, it's also made me look at life in general, like what makes me happy, because being in the industry that I was in, I got to drive a nice car every day, and I got to be associated with certain brands, and people look at you in admiration when you say you work for the likes of Mercedes and BMW, like I did. But I want to see my kids on a Saturday, because at the end of the day, it's retail. So some Saturdays, most Saturdays towards the end of my tenure, every Saturday towards the end of my tenure, to be honest, I was with I was like at work. These are the days when my 2-year-old and my 7-year-old, they want to be playing in the park, and they want to be doing fun stuff, and I wasn't able to spend any of that time with them. I weren't able to do simple things like wake up in the morning and just see their face. And when you get to this stage in life, a nice car and money and all the rest of it is great. It's always going to be great, right? But seeing my daughter laugh at 10:30 on a Saturday morning is way nicer. Um, and yeah, like that's why I think as well that it's never too late to start again, because your goals and your ambitions and your wants and your desires completely shift too. So if you're having these thoughts and you're having these feelings that you need to change and you may need to shift, then embrace them, man. Embrace them and ask yourself, like, what needs rebuilding in my life? What needs changing? What do I need to do? Where am I at in this stage of my life? And what do I need to do to be happy? What do I need to do to be feeling fulfilled? Because even with education, it's something I wanted to do for ages, but I was chasing the wrong thing. I was chasing money. Um, I didn't realize actually that I could be a lot more wealthy in the education space if I spent enough time in it. But yeah, I was chasing money, and now I'm trying to chase purpose. So I ask you again, like, what needs rebuilding in your life? What do you need to change? What do you need to fix? Where do you need to go to be able to say that I'm rebuilding with purpose, with happiness in mind, with legacy in mind? As a man, what does that look like to you? Yeah. Drop me a comment, subscribe, give me a like. Um, and yeah, man, I'm gonna keep popping up and trying to chat to the man. Take it easy, my bro.